All right, these are just quick notes if you're about to do the 2-3 test. This was on multiplying rational numbers. So the first one, we've got our decimals, multiplying decimals. So we note the numbers after the decimal. So there's 2 on this first number, negative 7.23. There were 2 after the decimal. Times 2.7, there's 1 after the decimal and 2.7. So that means it's a total of 3. That's going to tell us how far we bring our decimal in once we multiply them together. Okay, so then it says remove the decimals and multiply. So I've got 723, and this is negative, times 27. Okay, and this is going to be set up like it is in your test, where there's blocks to fill out. So we're going to multiply negative 723 times 7 first. 7's in the ones place. Here we're not going to bring down the negative. That's only going to be on the answer. Okay, so 7 times 3 is 21. So bring down the 1, carry the 2. 7 times 2 is 14. 14 plus 2 gives us 16. Carry the 1. 7 times 7 is 49. Plus 1 is going to be 50. Okay, so when we take 723 times 7, we get 5,061. Okay, so that is what we get when we times it by the ones place. Now, we're going to multiply it by the tens place, which is the 2 value. So you bring the 0 first, because anything in the tens place is just going to add a 0 to it. So 2 times 3 is going to give us 6. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 7 is 14. And it's important as you're writing these out that you keep them in line. Otherwise, you can get off, and when you add them together to get your final solution, your values get off. Okay, so now that we have what it is when we times it by the 7, when we times it by the 2, now we can add them together to get our final answer. So 1 plus 0 is 1, 6 plus 6 is 12, carry the 1, that'll give us 5, 5 plus 4 is 9, and then 1. Okay, now we use this 3 right here. That tells us that we're going to bring the decimal in 3, 1, 2, 3. You're going to put your value right there. So you get negative 19.521. Okay, multiplying decimals, multiply them as if they were whole numbers, then move the decimal in based on the number of values after the decimal. And note it's a negative times a positive, so our outcome is negative. Okay, dividing decimals. So on this one, the divisor has to be a whole number. Okay, so to get this to be a whole number, you're going to move the decimal over 1 to make it 12. So then our divisor now is 12. Okay, our dividend, which is the number that goes under the bracket, we got to do the same thing. If we move the decimal over 1 here, we need to move the decimal over 1 here. So that's going to give us 16.8. Okay, so now it's just how many times can 12 go into 16? So you go to the first section. It can't go into 1, but it can go into 16. So we stop at that 16 and we put a 1, because 12 can go into 16 once. 1 times 12 is 12. 16 minus 12 is going to give us 4. Okay, we're going to bring down this 8, so to make this 48. Okay, and notice the 8 comes after the decimal, so we bring the decimal up. Now 12 can go into 48 4 times, so the 4 goes up here. 4 times 12 is going to give us 48. 48 minus 48 is going to equal 0. Okay, so we've used all the terms. We've ended in 0, so we have our answer of 1.4. Okay, this is just like you're going to see it on the test. There's going to be a bracket up top to put your outcome, the bracket in the front for your divisor, a box underneath the bracket for your dividend, and then as you work through and solve, you're going to fill in each one of those boxes just like we did here. Okay, multiplying fractions. Multiplying fractions, you can cross-simplify when possible, and then you're just multiplying numerators multiplying denominators. So you can divide the 3 and the 9 by 3. That's going to give us negative 1/7 times 4 thirds. Okay, it's a negative times a positive, so that outcome is going to be negative 4. 7 times 3 is going to give us 21. And that's it. Multiplying fractions, you're multiplying numerators, you're multiplying denominators, and you're following the rules if it's negative or positive. Okay, dividing fractions, it's going to be the same, except there's one difference. There's keep, change, flip. So before you cross simplify, you have to keep, change, flip. So you keep the first one, change division to multiplication, and then flip the second fraction. Okay, now you can multiply numerators, multiply denominators. There is no cross simplifying here. 8 and 3 don't share any common factors, 5 and 9 don't. So 8 times 5 equals 40. 9 times 3 equals 27. Okay, I'm going to bring it up here to simplify. So it's an improper fraction, so we need to simplify. So 32 can go into, nope, not 32, 27 can go into 40 once, giving us 27. When you minus 27 from 40, you're left over, or you have a remainder of 13. This is your whole number, numerator, denominator. Let me move this down here. So 40 27ths is equal to 1 and 13 27ths. Okay, so you follow the same steps as keep, change, flip, or as multiplying fractions, you just keep, change, flip. All right. Now multiplying mixed numbers, so it's going to be the same thing again. The only thing is first you have to convert mixed numbers to improper fractions. And once again, we do that by taking our denominator times our whole number plus our numerator over our denominator. Okay, same thing on the next one. Denominator times whole number plus numerator. Okay, and that's going to be over 5. So here you got 9 plus 2, which is 11 thirds. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21 fifths. Okay, we can cross simplify. Divide by 3, divide by 3. 11 over 1, oops. Times 7 over 5 is going to equal 77 fifths. Okay, so we've multiplied our numerators, multiplied our denominators. Now we simplify, so 5 can go into 77. So 5 can go into 7 once. That leaves us with 2. Bring down our 7. 5 can go into 27 5 times. That would be 25. Leave us with a remainder of 2. Okay, so our whole number, numerator, and our denominator. So this would equal 15 and 2 fifths. Okay, so multiplying mixed numbers. Dividing mixed numbers is going to be the same. We're just going to add in that keep, change, flip. So first, 4 times 3 plus 1 over 4 divided by 5 times 1 plus 1 over 5. So here you're going to get 4 times 3, which is 12, plus 1, 13 fourths. And I'm just going to change division to multiplication. I'm going to flip this, so 5 is now going to be on top. 5 times 1 plus 1 is going to give us 6. Okay, we cannot cross simplify here, so we just multiply our numerators together. 5 times 13 is going to be 65. 4 times 6 is going to be 24. Okay, we can simplify this. So 24 can go into 65. This would be twice. This is going to give us 48. So we'll have a remainder of, so when you subtract, you have to borrow from the 6. This becomes 5. This becomes 15, so that'd be 7 and 1. So 17. So once again, this is our whole number. Oops. Our numerator and our denominator. So this equals 2 and 17/24.